Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fate Podcast, where we discuss film, anime, television, and other forms of entertainment. I'm your host, Elijah. And you already know before we start the show, we're going to give you a recommendation to watch. Now, with my recommendation, it's, it's a really big deal for me because it's one of my favorite animes. I'm probably going to recommend it more than once, but it has to be One Piece. Um, One Piece has been out since what 1999, and I know, guys, it's a long anime, over 900 and something episodes, but I'm telling you, it's worth the watch. Um, take your time. I'm not telling you to watch it like binge watch it because they're going to take months, but it's an interesting manga to read and also an interesting anime to watch. Sam, you have a recommendation?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna kind of go with you know what? I'm gonna go with a random one here. I'm gonna recommend people watch the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's
Hmm.
one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a serious Jim Carrey movie. I can't remember who directed it, but anyways, it's a movie about this relationship between Jim Carrey and the girl he is dating in there, and they had an argument. He goes to make up with her, but she acts like he she doesn't know who he is. Just like, excuse me, sir, like, can I help you with anything? Like, if not, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store. And he's just like, what's going on? And she even like kisses this other guy in front of him that's like her boyfriend. Well, come to find out, she wiped her memory.
Hmm.
There's a service in this movie where if a person is so heartbroken and so devastated or so angry with someone that they just want to forget them, you can go see this doctor and they'll come to your house and they'll wipe the memory out of your brain. Well, he decides to do the same because he's so hurt. But as it starts, he realizes he doesn't want to actually lose the memories. So the entire movie takes place inside of his head, trying to stop them from taking his memories. And all he has left to remember this girl who is like, the love of his life.
Wow. Sounds like a sad movie.
It's very sad. It's very sad, but it's really good.
Yeah,
It's very
I agree.
touching. It's a very vulnerable movie. And if you're into that sort of thing, and which I'm kind of into everything, but like that's a movie that's like always in my top 5.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. If you into anime, watch my pick. If you into Jim Carrey, a sad movie, sad drama, pick one of Sam's movie, But today's show, I'm excited to watch again another Disney Plus. We love Marvel here, so probably gonna do everything Marvel. We're gonna talk about What If, franchise. The first episode dropped, I believe, last week. What if Captain Carter were the first Avengers? Was the first Avenger? Now, honestly, I love when they do stuff like this that kind of switch out the roles of characters and have that what if this person was that.
Hmm.
This
I
episode,
love it.
I loved it. Lo- top,
Really?
top to bottom, I love this episode. Like my only, I was kind of worried because I'm not used to the animation, or not even used to. I kind of don't like that type of animation style that they use, but it kind of grew on me the longer I watched it. But then the story of how they kind of switched the roles, with Captain Carter being the Avenger and stuff like that, and I just liked it a lot. I,
Oh,
I enjoyed it. Like,
bro, I'm on the same page as you 100%. Like, uh and I remember I told you like IGN gave it like a 6 out of 10, and I was
mhm.
and I was like, whoa, does that mean this is gonna be bad? What's going on? but like they said that there was a lot of potential. I watched it and I was hooked from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I was like you though. I was like, I don't know about this animation, but it grew on me, and I really like it now. I
Yeah.
think it's
Same here.
interesting. I haven't really seen anything like that before, so I think it's pretty cool animation. I love that they introduced the Watcher as like the narrator and
Yep.
like kind of established this character's presence in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, what excites me is that they call this canon. They said this is MCU canon. So, with this directly affecting what happens from Loki in the start of the multiverse, now we're getting the stories from the Watcher of what he has seen in these other possibilities. And to start, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's brilliant how they showed the difference and like how it happened. And it's literally the smallest choice ever. Instead of her going up in the booth, she just stayed there. That's like a decision like in real time you don't think is a difference,
Yep.
but it made everything different.
It's like the butterfly effect, kind of.
Yes, no,
If you
100%. Like
go step on the butterfly, that one thing,
they
change
really
everything.
leaned into that, and I
Mm-hmm.
love it. Like it is so well done, and it makes complete sense once like you kind of like, because you there's like parts happening that you go, oh yeah, I remember that from the first event. Well, oh, so that's what changed from the original to this. Like it's just cool, like especially if you love Marvel as much as us, seeing those little differences and just
Mm-hmm.
like noticing where you're at like from that first movie and like what happens instead. I mean, it's perfect. But what's also cool is you get to see the same thing sort of happen, just like, but again, differently. But like you get to see the same sort of things where like Peggy Carter gets the or I almost said vaccine. She gets the serum, and um, she gets sidelined too. So like first they did it with Steve because they were just like, like you're just gonna be this guy, like you're just gonna be like sell bonds. But with her, because she's a woman, they're just like, fuck you,
Yeah.
you're just gonna do this. Please stop. And it's just like, okay. But like, I like the parallels of what they did the same and what they changed about that sort of timeline and what happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I love how, to be honest, you know, um, Peggy Carter played a wonderful Captain America, or Captain Carter, bro. Because to me, I'm comparing Captain America to her. In the first Avengers, it was slow paced. It was like Captain America, sometimes kind of boring, but Captain Carter bring like more of a bubbly, more of a lighthearted.
Charismatic.
Yeah, it was, her, the way she reacted to her ability, especially the first time. She was like, whoa, this is incredible. Like it felt fun, you know
Yeah.
and I didn't get that. I'm sorry, I didn't get that from the first Avengers. It was, all serious, and yeah, I need to save America, this, but it was more
I'm gonna go
fun.
punch Hitler in the face, that whole sort of thing.
Yeah. So it was just like, it was more fun with her. It was,
Yeah.
I was engaged. I love the action scenes from her. Like
Mhm.
every action scenes that she entered, I loved everything. The way they did the animations, the way they um had her like smack people in the shield, and it was incredible. It was
100%.
incredible. And they still kept the story, some parts of the story, with, their her relationship with Rogers. They kept,
Mhm.
they still added Bucky into the mix, um and then she still ended up, 70 years in the future, you know so, which
Oh,
I think I know what they're doing, but we're going to talk about more of that at the end. um
yes.
uh but yeah, it's just there's nothing, to be honest. I watched it twice, so there's nothing I kind of didn't like about it.
No, I agree. There's not much, and again, to nitpick,
Mm-hmm.
I thought the pacing was very fast.
Okay.
But like there's kind of almost a point to it
Yeah.
because if you're watching this show and this is where you're jumping on in the universe, you picked the wrong thing to really jump in at. You
Exactly.
you did. Like you and I don't think that's anything that even hurts them as
No,
a
it didn't.
show. I
I
don't
love.
think it hurts them that they're catering to this established audience because I'm sorry, like they can do that at
Yep.
this point. They
Yep.
can cater to the crowd because they have the accolades, they got the rep, like they got it, dude. They can do that. So like, yeah, if I want to nitpick that, I would say like, oh my god, like this is just blazing fast. But
Yeah.
there's a reason behind it, and it's fine.
Yeah. See, you with the pacing, actually, like, yeah, that can be a nitpick but for me, it's not because again, like you said, we're already established. We already know the kind of the storyline of Captain America. Now we want to see the storyline of Peggy Carter, So it's just having them just cut to the meat of it, them about to inject him with the serum, but end up injecting Peggy Carter instead. I just want this. I didn't want this whole 2 hour thing of just like them going through them, having a relationship, the feelings, all this other filler stuff. No,
All
they
killer,
cut to the
no
meat
filler,
of it,
baby.
huh?
I said all killer, no filler, baby.
Exactly, bro. So they cut the meat, um, and slice it all up to what we can digest, and I just enjoyed it. The pacing. I need Red Skull to have like a whole bunch of missions of them fighting one another. No, that's why I like the montage of them just fighting, and then at the end you get that final battle. So the pacing, even though it was quick, it was justified.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Mhm.
just to throw in another thing that I loved was like they still kept Steve Rogers relevant, not just in the relationship aspect, but they then sped up what should have been Iron Man in the future.
Yep.
But Howard Stark was like, no, we got to get this guy out there. So he made Iron Man before everything. And I honestly, I really thought that was awesome
Yep. I did too.
because I got this crazy Iron Giant feeling looking at it.
Oh yes, I
You know
did
what I
too.
mean? Like I
Yep.
got that feeling and I'm just like, "Oh, this is working and I love it." And like, bro, I'm just going to go to like that whole final battle scene and them doing the whole like you owe me a dance. Bro, that shit broke my heart. Like I genuinely got like real sad and like honestly like borderline teary-eyed cuz I was just like, "No, like not again." Like we just went through all of this. Like, don't do this to me again. And like, it was almost more heartbreaking having Peggy in the role doing it because like she's like I shouldn't even say I was gonna say she's like almost more into Steve than she is like I mean they're pretty much equally like over the moon for each other but like
Yeah, agreed.
it almost was like more heartbreaking just because like the look like they were in the same room this time and he like watched her go off into like the I guess the future. I
Well,
assumed it
to
was
be
an
honest,
alternate reality.
see, from his point of view, he doesn't know where they're going. He
Exactly.
doesn't know where she's going. So it's just like, well,
As far as he knows, she's dead.
exactly. You
And
know?
like like I don't know why it hurt more this time around than it did that first time.
you know,
And like, oh my God, it was so heartbreaking. And I couldn't believe that in this 30-minute show that they could pull off this amazing episode and just end it like that on me, man. My God, it was just unbelievably executed.
mhm. Like, yeah. Sorry guys, I don't really have much of a negative thing to say about this show. Like everything
It's just
about it was
fun.
done. Like you get the same actors that play these characters like Winter Soldier, Bucky, Sebastian. They again play their own selves in the show. So you get that character. Um it was Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson, he's in the show towards the end.
Mhm.
So, they done it well, man. Like I was waiting, what if it's part of the comic book universe type of thing. I never really got into it. I know of it, but I don't know. I never read any of the comic books or
Yeah,
anything like
I mean,
that.
as far as like what if goes in the comics, it's really just the different like characters that they create, like
Mhm.
when it comes to Spider-Man, you can go to a comic shop and you'll find Spider-Man, but you'll also find Ultimate Spider-Man. You'll find Superior Spider-Man. You'll find the like, you know, it's just like they have all their own unique runs, and like they're just incorporating all that sort of stuff. And also they're kind of grabbing from like the multiverse war comics that they have like, created.
Yeah.
And uh so kind of going to that, what do you think happened there at the end of that episode? Like she goes through, right? She
Yeah.
slices up that, well, I'm assuming it was a Hydra.
Yeah.
Um she slices that up and she goes through, and it's 70 years later. So like I guess you can assume it's the same timeline.
Yep. Same
But
timeline.
like just radically different. Instead of being frozen, she did like a time jump,
Yeah.
which like I didn't realize the space stone could do. So like I was a little confused by
Oh yeah. You know
that.
what? I took it as is, but I never really questioned it until you just said
I didn't until the words just came out of my mouth. Like I just thought about that. I was just like, wait, like, yeah.
I
So that's an
mean,
interesting
you can
question to
travel
think of
through.
now.
I mean, you can make an argument that it travels through time. I don't know, or the only reason it traveled through time was because they kind of enhanced it with the device. I mean, it's not really mentioned, but you
Yeah,
can make the assumption that it helped it travel through time.
I would say either way. Let's say if that thing was real, it's not like we would comprehend what it could do. So
Yeah,
it can do
yeah.
whatever.
And like I said, we didn't. Like I said, we didn't question it until now. So I
Yeah.
mean, and that doesn't, to be honest, that's probably another nitpick of the thing that really
hmm Because
doesn't
for
have
all
much
we
of an
know,
impact.
yeah, because for all we know, it could get explained because there's going to be
Yeah.
9 episodes. And if I saw correctly, I think Captain Carter's character is supposed to be in like 6 of these episodes
Mhm.
or like
Interesting.
7. So,
Yeah.
like,
So I'm gonna
that,
answer your question. I'm gonna answer your question. What I think.
yes.
I think we're gonna get a new Avengers. Like now that I just like we're gonna get a new Avengers with this new team of what ifs
What, just for the show or like into the movies?
in the show. I don't maybe
It's
even
I
jump to the
I think one day it might translate somehow into the movies. But
maybe.
like I would say, yeah, we're about to see like a new like Avengers squad for the
Hmm.
show for some reason. And yeah, I don't know how they'll play it off,
Yeah.
but like
No, it's kind of be, but it would kind of be hard to get those characters in the movie.
no, 100%. I think the only one, and this is just my opinion, the
Yeah.
only one that I think you could maybe pull off is Captain Carter. I
Yes,
think
but they
that's
will have to. I don't think the same Captain Carter or Petty Carter in the Marvel universe is gonna. They're gonna have to switch the actors.
well that no well they can still use the same lady because she voiced the character in the
Yeah,
show,
in the
and
show, yeah, they
like,
did. Yep.
and I here's how I think they can make it work is because the multiverse is now like bursting. I think there's gonna like they could, I don't know if they'll do it, but like if they were, they would have her cross over into this main universe somehow. Like because of this multiverse craziness. Oh, here's an idea. This Avengers team that we could possibly see in this show,
Mhm.
maybe we just get like a glimpse of them or something, or like we get an introduction of them in the movies because Kang the Conqueror gets out of hand with this multiverse war, so they got to all team up. That would be
Mm.
interesting, but that's probably a big shot there.
Oh, that's interesting for real. Yeah.
That'd be funny. They incorporate it into the movie, but they're still animated. Like, you
That-
get
that-
everybody else
that
around
would
him
work.
as live
That
action,
I'd
and
be
it's just
upset.
like,
I'm
yo,
like,
why are you animated? You're a cartoon.
that'd be upset. I'll be upset.
That would be upsetting, 100%.
But that would be Okay, so I uh, to me, I'll be just happy if they did as a new Avengers in the show towards the end of the season, or maybe even next season. Who knows? But it'll be a plus and a bonus for me if they actually was able to make it live action into the movies. So I'm good with either or. And again, it will just be a bonus if they become live action. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you rate this?
Bro, I give it like a good 9.
I agree. I
Yeah,
concur.
you know,
Yeah.
a
And
good 9.
like I told you too, like episodes 2 is also out, guys. And that is What If T'Challa
Yeah.
was Star-Lord.
Yep.
It's better than the first one. It's
Damn.
better.
Yeah. Yeah. Go watch the second episodes, because we're gonna review it to let you know what we think, guys. Can't wait to watch it. What do you think of What If? Um, Captain Carter being the first Avenger. We thought it was amazing. Maybe you guys thought differently. Leave a comment below. Again, subscribe to our channel on YouTube. So follow us on Instagram at Fate Podcast. And if you want to email us some email us some questions at fatepodcasters@gmail.com. We'll be happy to answer your questions. And let us know what other material you want us to review. See you next time. Peace.